Okay, so let's talk about morally adjacent. And I got to talk fast because I'm about to be late for a meeting, but this hit my spirit real hard and I got to get it out. When we talk about the morally adjacent people, we're talking about people who on the surface look as though they live a Christian life, right? They love people, they treat everybody right, they don't lie, they don't steal. They're just genuinely what we would call good people. But at the root of why they do what they do is not a love of Christ. They're not doing it in response to being grateful for what God has done and the sacrifice that Jesus paid for them. They just do it because deep inside they feel like it's the right thing to do. Now, I would argue that's God trying to get their attention, but at the root of that is not a relationship, okay? They are morally adjacent to believers. This is important because I think this answers the question of how could God send good people to hell? This also came up in the video that I'm working on in the series, The Kingdom of Heaven is Like, where I break down the parables where Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is like this, and this. I'll put a picture at the end of this video so you can see which one I'm going to tackle next and see if you can figure it out. But this is important to remember. There are going to be a lot of people who are morally adjacent, Christ adjacent, Christian adjacent. And we're going to be looking, and you're not going to really be able to tell much of a difference between them and real Christians. But there will come a day where the separation happens, which is why Jesus keeps talking about, depart from me, I don't know you. It's not about the morality. It really is about relationship, right? Heaven is about a father welcoming home his children, those that were originally born to him, Jesus Christ, and those that have been adopted by him through faith in Jesus Christ. But a lot of people continue to hold on to this notion about our works and works-based salvation. That's not how this works. So you have to keep in mind, there are going to be people who are morally adjacent to the principles, the lifestyle, the beliefs, all of that as Christians. They're going to look like they could be Christians. And some of the morally adjacent are going to look better and act better than the real Christians. Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's the reason why Christ has to be the one to do the deciding and the deciphering, because he's the only one that knows what's at the heart of every man. So keep that in mind. Here goes the thumbnail. See if you can figure out which parable I'm doing, but it's coming.